Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Saying. Thank you. It's going to be a good show. Why? Because it's the season 10 finale. That's right. So let's go ahead and get it started by asking the question, what is Josh drinking? And on the show this week, I am 15 for 15. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Refreshing. So yeah. I am starting the season off with an apology, or I'm ending the season with an apology. I was supposed to do a hard Mountain Dew review today, but here's what happened. So I'm leaving work Friday, and I knew that Friday night and Saturday is when Producer Man and I film, and so I was going to stop at the store and get some hard Mountain Dew. And so I'm thinking to myself, stop at the grocery store, stop at the grocery store, stop at the grocery store. And I get back into town, and I'm thinking, shit, I didn't stop at the grocery store. So then I think to myself, well, the gas station carries it. I'll just stop there and get it. I stop there, and they're out. So needless to say, we will not have that review today, but I do have another great sketch for you. So let's get it in. Let's keep it going. No more apologies. Let's get into the rundown. Here is what is going on in my life. As you know, this is the season 10 finale, and here is kind of a tentative schedule as to what is going to happen next season. We return July 30th with our season 11 premiere, and then we do the next week. We kick off back to school month, and then we have my birthday month with all of my favorite things. And I have to announce, he's making me, I have to announce that it is going to be my 41st birthday I'm sorry. And this is why he wants me to say it every time, because I can't say it. My 41st birthday party. Yeah. And that's going to be on September 24th. Normally I have it the week after, but my mom's birthday would have been the 23rd. And I thought, why not honor her by having it on her birthday? And we'll do it that way. So yeah, lots to look forward to next season. It's going to be a jam-packed season. But yeah. Anyway, so I have a quick story for you. And up until Friday, remember back a couple weeks ago, I had talked about the holiday was Smart and Sexy Day, and I told you how Opal and I were trying to figure out which one was the smart one and which one was the sexy one of the two of us. Well, we've kind of determined that we're both sexy, and we just keep passing the smart title back and forth. And Friday, I earned it back. So we're at work, and the first table comes in. It's a set of regulars that come in for the past 30 years every day. And she's telling them the specials, and one of the specials is a cheese quesadilla. And she says, I heard her say something to the effect of, I guess it's Taco Friday. And I say, hey, Opal, or he's celebrating Cinco de Mayo. And she looks at me and she goes, now that makes sense. And just turns around and goes back to what she was doing. I earned the smart title back. I'm not going to keep it long, I never do, but for now I have it. And it's the weekend, so I'll have it for at least 3 days. Anyway, so moving right along, let's get into the news. Time Magazine is saying that people who are sensitive, at being oversensitive to things, is a superpower. Because it makes you not only more sensitive to people's feelings, but you have more hurt emotions. That you listen to people better, and that people who are sensitive are more creative, which I can totally understand. I'm a very sensitive person. I remember growing up, I lived on a farm, and I was walking in my yard, and a honeybee flew into my eye. And I remember opening my eye and seeing it fall to the ground, and I knelt down and just started crying because I had killed this bee. I was a kid. I don't know. But if I'm in a great mood, I could be in the middle of laughing at something, see something tragic on the news, and I'm immediately depressed. Like, it's like I feel the emotions that they are feeling at the time. And yeah, I don't know. If you know what's going on with me, let me know. And please don't just comment you're crazy, because I already know that. But yeah, they also say that they're people who are sensitive's kryptonite is the fact that you are more accessible to being heard, which I understand that, because our heart is open more and we allow people in easier, and then they are lying about what they told us, or so I get it. There's a new survey conducted, and it seems that people who are on vacation are more likely to talk to strangers than you are when you're in your home area. And I understand that, because when I'm in my home town, I'm in my bubble. I stick to what I know. But when I'm on vacation, I don't know the area. I don't know. You start talking to the cashier and who you don't know, and start saying how you are here visiting and where's a good place to eat, or what's a good touristy thing to do. So yeah, you do. I can see that happening. And plus, when you're on vacation, you can be whoever you want to be. For example, I remember growing up, I had a friend, my best friend growing up, we'll call him Earl. Earl and I were inseparable. I don't know. And so one summer, my sisters had jobs, so they couldn't leave or couldn't go on vacation with us, or had something going on. And my parents didn't want me to be there by myself, and said, hey, why don't you invite Earl? And so Earl comes to vacation with us. We're down there, and we meet these two kids who are there for 2 or 3 more days after we had gotten there. And the first time we started talking to these kids, Earl just randomly started talking in an Australian accent. And so I'm like, whatever, this seems fun, let's do it. So I started talking in an Australian accent. And so for 2 or 3 days that these kids are here, they think we're from Australia, even though we have American-speaking parents. I don't know. And our parents are kind of looking at us with crazy eyes when we're talking back to them in Australian accents. It was fun. I don't know. But you can be whoever you want to be on vacation. Here's the next story. A song expert. I don't know. I kind of heard half the story, but there's a reason I'm telling this story. A song expert has come up with a formula to find the happiest songs in all genres combined. And the song that they deem the happiest is Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. And the reason I tell you this story is because my girl Pink, the only girl I'd switch over for, her song, Get the Party Started, is at number 4. How awesome for her. She's got the 4th happiest song in the world. Good for her. Here's the next story. For those of you who didn't know this was going on, Ed Sheeran was being sued by the Marvin Gaye estate for supposedly stealing Let's Get It On from Marvin Gaye, even though they don't really sound alike at all. And that's what the jury found. Ed won the lawsuit. The jury said and agreed with the fact that if anyone has ever done anything in music, I'm not saying like famous celebrity music stars. I'm saying if you've ever been in high school chorus, if you've ever been in the junior high or high school band, that kind of thing. You know that there's only 7 letters in the musical alphabet. There's only so many ways you can combine those letters. You can't play an F and a G together. I mean, they don't sound right. You can't play a D and a G together. Those are stupid. And, stuff like that. There's only so many chords you can use, and they are like the building blocks of songwriting. And so you hear these chords literally in every song that you've ever heard. These 3 or 4 chords will always be there. And Marvin Gaye's estate said that Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud was stealing from let's get it on. But the jury found otherwise. And the sad part about this is that in a press conference after the verdict was read, Sheeran admitted that he had, because the trial was being held in New York, he had to miss his grandmother's funeral. There's that. So my heart goes out to him for having to miss that. But I don't understand why, in that situation, a judge wouldn't have been like, you know what, let's take a 2-week recess, go deal with your family, or go be with your family, and then we'll reconvene. You know, if I were a judge, and even if it wasn't a celebrity and that was going on, I'd at least reprieve for a couple of days, just so that they can be with their family, you know. It's tragic. And finally, if you haven't heard by now, there is a writer's strike, which means no new shows are coming out. Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show, the Late Night with Seth Meyers, SNL canceled Pete Davidson's hosting show, and Drew Barrymore has announced that she will refuse to host the MTV Awards because of the writer's strike. So good for them, you know. And you have to think about it this way: you can take all of the lighting people, all the camera crew, all of that, put them into a room, and you're not going to have a show unless the writers are there. And I think the fact that they have to struggle to get what they want is ridiculous. You literally would not have a show without writers. And I mean, even this show, I have to write stuff. I have to write out, no matter if my blurry handwriting. I mean, we do write our jokes. We write, well, we steal, but we still have to write. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm totally on board with them, and that's the real reason we're on. No, I'm kidding. I do stand by the Writers Guild, though, so support them. You would not have your shows, and you're not going to with the writer's strike going on. So there's that for you. Well, it's time to get into the sketch I wasn't planning to do, but hey, in a bind, what are you going to do but open your inbox and read your viewer emails? Here we go. Do I have a favorite subject in school? Yes. I was a huge math nerd. It's not that I was like a mathlete or I know nothing above algebra, but like give me common sense math and I'm really good at it. Yeah. I can tell the cashier how much change I'm supposed to get while they're still sitting there thinking about it because they don't teach that kind of stuff in schools anymore. Anyway. But yeah, I was really weird about math. If I could redo one moment in my life, what would it be? You know what? And I'm not saying this to be cliche, but I wouldn't redo anything. I'm a firm believer that things happen the way they happen for a reason. Whether it causes us stress and hate and causes us panic and fear, and that we all go through that for a certain reason. And we may not know why then, but eventually we will figure it out. And I've always remember being told, regret nothing. Do everything and regret nothing. Because if you have regrets in your life, then that's time that you wished you wouldn't have lived, or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really regret anything I've done. I mean, there are a few things, like when I was heavy into Vicodin, but that stuff I couldn't control. It was the addiction. Here's the next one. Do I have any strange fears? Yeah. Producer man makes fun of me all the time for it. It could be 110 degrees with 100% humidity, and I'm outside with that hoodie on and the hood up. When I was a kid, I remember hearing a story of my dad's mom. My dad's dad was a farmer, and so they didn't take a lot of vacations because they didn't make a lot of money, and because he farmed during the summer. And so we convinced them one time to go on vacation with us. We went down to Florida, and I don't remember this, but I remember people talking about it, that after all this time after all this time, my grandparents finally agreed to go on vacation, a bird pooped on her head. And ever since then, I am afraid of birds pooping on my head. If I'm going somewhere and I don't have a hood or a hat on and I know that there's a bird going over me, I will, even though it doesn't do anything, I kind of go like this. Or I will think to myself, please don't poop on my head. Yeah. When I get to work, I have to run up the stairs because it's kind of like rafters. And so there's birds in them all the time, and I just know. And there's bird poop all over the floor, all over the ground right there. And I just know one of these times they're going to shit on my head. I know it. Anyway. Do I have a someone special? If not, hit me up. Thank you, but I do. And that's all I can say about that. Where would you go if you could go anywhere in the world? I would have to say it would be... I don't know if this exists. I don't know where it would be. But I would go somewhere that's tropical, but also spring-type weather. I love the flowers blooming, even though my sinuses and allergies hate it. And they tell me every day. And I love the temperature. Like, I like it warm during the day, but when I get home at night, I get all snuggy in my pajamas and snuggle up to my dog, and then she hates me and leaves and sleeps at the other end of the bed. And yeah. Anyway, but that's where I would prefer. I like it nice during the day, but not like where I'm outside tanning or laying out or enjoying it and sweating my ass off. A nice cool breeze would be beautiful, but I would want an ocean. Just saying. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the show started. I've really enjoyed finding notes that people leave for strangers or just for other people, because there's a couple in today's segment that are left to coworkers. But yeah, I love reading these notes because sometimes people just say it the way it is, and you'll find a couple of them in this week's edition of Oops. So here's the first one, and I have to tell a story after I read it, but here we go. My wife hit your mailbox avoiding a squirrel. I know, right? First of all, I think I've said this on the show before about my parents' old dog that loved to play with squirrels. Ever since then, I've had a thing for squirrels. Like, I would never own one because they're kind of ugly, but I break for squirrels. You will ram into the back of me. That did not come out right. You will run into the back of my car because I will break for a squirrel. And I don't let Taser chase them. Nope. Can't hurt the squirrels. But I swear there's one in my tree trying to kill me. Every time I take my dog out, I can hear acorns hitting the ground, like they're throwing acorns at me. Anyway. Also, another quick story. So every day, I should say, when I was little, and we lived on the farm, we had a big J, about a quarter-mile lane. And so every day, my mom would wake up, the first thing she would do is start the coffee machine, then she'd drive down the lane, get the newspaper, and drive back. And then by the time she came back, her coffee was almost done, and she could sit down and read the paper. I remember at least a couple times where she would go out and she would kind of do like a U-turn so that her driver's side was by the mailbox. That when she did the U-turn, hit a patch of ice and fishtailed into the mailbox. And there's a big long scrape down the side of the van. Fun times. Here's the next one. Found this at a bathroom at work. Sorry, clogged, but feeling much better. Good for you. I hate to be the one to... Even if it wasn't me, and there was a toilet already clogged when I went into the bathroom, going to the worker and saying one of your toilets is clogged. Because you know that they are immediately going to think, you bastard, you just clogged our toilet. I will try to unclog it for them before I say something. Or I'll just not say something. Because I'm embarrassed. I don't want people to think I just clogged it. I'd leave a note. It's not like they're going to analyze my handwriting and come arrest me, are they? I hope you thought this was a ticket. I love doing that to people. Like, just writing hi on a piece of paper and sticking it under their windshield wiper, because they're always going to be like, I thought it was a ticket, you ass hat. Here's the next one. Dear Nikki, I saw your email. Don't worry, I'm not mad. I can see why you think I'm inconsistent and, quote, not much of a team player. I mean, that time I covered for your girlfriend when she had an emergency. Totally selfish of me. And let's not forget the fact that I only called out sick twice in the past 4 years. How inconsistent of me. So yeah, I get it. I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's life. I'm sure this store will be much better off without me. Good luck with everything. Sincerely. Just say it as it is, people. Quit holding crap in, making the world a hateful place. Here's the next one. Left some free stuff on the curb for people to take. Someone actually left a note. Sorry, thanks for the free shit. If you think it's shit, why are you taking it? Here's the next one. Think you might have had a parcel delivery left by your side gate. Saw some gypsies pinch it. Would have stopped them if you had been a nicer neighbor. No, you should have done something. Like, that's kind of criminal. Here's the next one, and this is something I think I should start doing. Just walking up to people and be like, you park like an asshole, please don't reproduce. And give them a condom. Just, if you see someone do something stupid, take them a condom and say, please just don't reproduce. And walk away. I mean, people, we've got to do something about the wrong kind of people. Here's the next one. This one, I hit your car. I'm sorry. There's only a scratch on the left back panel. But because you looked rich, I'm not leaving my number. That's called a felony. Just thought I'd let you know. And I'm pretty sure they have cameras wherever you were, because who doesn't these days? Here's the next one. Please keep the door closed. Thank you. Please don't use Comic Sans. We are a Fortune 500 company, not a lemonade stand. Let people use Comic Sans. Maybe it's fun. And finally, this one must have been left after hearing two people talk about their lives. But here's what the note says. Go you. Eavesdropping and wanted to just say, you rock. That's what the world needs. The world needs just more positivity left. For a stranger, just say, you rock. Or, hey, you need to dump the asshole that you were just talking about because I was eavesdropping and heard the pain you're going through. We just need to give our opinions. Unless it's political, then shut the hell up. Here's the next... Well, nope. Time for the next segment. So, you guys know that I love to go shopping. However, I'm always broke and looking for deals online, and that's when I run into stupid items trying to be sold online by stupid people in this week's edition of The Marketplace. Here's the first one. Now, I don't know if this is our new line of defense. I could kind of see Biden putting something together like this. Because he's kind of dumb. But he was better than the other alternative. Anyway. But for $24,300, you can get guinea pig armor. Could you imagine a military with guinea pigs? Really? Really? Here's the next one. It says it's Chinese antique court beads, but to me, it just looks like a kid's beading set. I mean, what kind of Chinese antiques have neon green? Or so producer man said, which is why I picked that picture. Anyway, Here's the next one. Now, these kind of people drive me absolutely bananas. There is no reason that you need to try to sell a chip online because it looks funky. They're chips. They're going to look funky. Like this Cheeto. It's a freaking Cheeto and looks like every other freaking Cheeto in the freaking bag of Cheetos. But no, you're trying to make $350 off a Cheeto. You're getting shot off my island in the cannon. Here's the next one. Here's the next person I'm shooting off my island in a cannon. Because apparently this piece of toast looks like the Virgin Mary. Or your coils are going out on your toaster. Either or. Either or. Here's the next one. I would love to purchase this. And then when I do DNA test and it comes back the way I think it's going to come back, I'm suing your ass for 3 times the amount that I paid for it because I highly doubt that it's actually Rihanna's cigarette. Just saying. Here's the next one. No wonder these are rare. Because they're hideous. For $3,000, you can have pants with stuffed animals glued to them. And when you run into a crying kid, just rip one off your pants and give it to him. Oy vey. Here's the next one. This chicken McNugget from McDonald's is trying to be sold for $99,997 because it's got legs. It's a chicken nugget. It's a crumble of a chicken nugget. Who cares? You're not going to be a millionaire because of a McDonald's chicken nugget. Nor are you going to become a millionaire when you're trying to sell real air from an Adele concert. Hey, here's a quick money-making tip. I'm just going to smoke a bunch of weed in my house and then put the air in Ziploc bags and try and sell it as Snoop Dogg's. Or Willie Nelson. Or any rapper. Or any person nowadays. How could you prove that it wasn't from a concert? And it's kind of racist. And that's not the word I'm looking for. It's kind of discriminatory to weed smokers. Anyway, before I take myself any further in a hole with that picture, with my comments, let's go ahead and move on. This person thought they were buying a Wii, but in fact it was just the instruction manual. And I can just imagine their expression. We didn't get what I thought we were getting. Now, again, people and stupid Cheetos. That looks like every other Cheeto in the bag, even though it looks like it's got a penis. Really? Ridiculous, people. Find something better to do with your lives. Anyway. So next season, as I mentioned, October is National Dog Adoption Month, so we probably won't do any Possibly Adorables until October. So I thought we'd end the season off with a segment of pet shaming. That's right, everybody. It's time for Possibly Adorable. Here's the first one. If I can scroll up here. Here's the first one. I am Bad Oliver. I jumped into Bill's truck and ate up the week's worth of doggy treats. My treats, tacos... What? My treats, tacos treats. All the treats. Who's Taco? Here's the next one. This is my third murder this week. Not sorry. That face looked like it wasn't sorry. Here's the next one. The cat got me hooked on catnip. Now I steal her toys. She's an enabler. Go to Al-Anon. Here's the next one. I don't have to read the note to tell you what the dog did. And then there's this dog. Damn animals. Especially my dog keeping me up all night last night. Anyway, here's the next one. I heart playing in the mud. Who doesn't? I mean, seriously. Mud is fun. That's why kids jump in mud puddles. Here's the next one. I convinced my brother to go outside and then sneak back in and eat his supper. And that dog was smiling and happy that he was doing it. Can we pull that picture back up? Look at that smile on that dog's face. He is totally not sorry about it. Here's the next one. I jumped on the table and ate a stick of butter and then proceeded to puke it all over my owner. That sucks. One of my fears, weird fears, is that my dog is going to puke on my bed in the middle of the night. I don't know. But it's weird. When I was an EMT, I could deal with it, no problem. Not a problem. Here's the next one. I thought your shoe was a smack. And here's the final one, and this one is hilarious. Not because of what the note says. It's hilarious because the dog has the note over his face and only showing his eyes like this, which is making him look more pathetic. I poop on my mom's rug and then bark at it like someone else did it. How adorable is that? Anyway. Well, that will do it for Season 10. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys for watching every time I see a new view up. You guys are the reason I continue doing this show. And I honestly have to say that if it wasn't for me doing this show, I probably would be in a funk right now over my mom's death. I'm doing better because I have this show to do and to get my mind off of it. So I hope that's what it's doing for you guys. And I hope you're ready for a few more seasons of this show. But yeah, so Season 11 comes back. We will be back July 30th. And I hope in that time you guys have some time to just relax. Because that's what I'm going to do. No offense, but I'm probably not going to think about any of you, at least for a week. Especially you. Oh, and fun fact. Producer man, I finally convinced him to take his 3-year-old and his infant child, well, 1-year-old now, almost 1-year-old, to Disney World. He'll figure the prank out when he gets there. Anyway, so if you guys have anything funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's the show email address, as well as my TikTok while it's not banned in the U.S., as well as my Twitter, which I am becoming more active on. And while I sit here babbling about my social medias, please comment below, like, subscribe, and get the notifications anytime I post one of my episodes, because let's be real, this show rocks. So until July 30th, it's going to be so weird not to have to sit down and write a show for a while. But it's going to be nice at the same time, and I can get some things done around my house, hopefully. Hopefully. Anyway, so without further ado, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, stop the hate, and until July 30th, that is all I'm saying.